Hi everybody. Gotta get the technology working. Make sure that everything is in place before we start this. I've had plenty of times when we've done a video and it hasn't worked out. So give me a second to make sure that we can, okay, I can see myself here. Now, I need you to let me know if you can hear me. So we are here tonight to do my live craft room tour and the big reveal of my latest organizational project. So please, if you can hear me and see me, please let me know in the comments, and that would be so helpful because I don't want to be talking to anybody. There was this one time, I think it was last April, and I was showing off my paint flower. You can't see it right now, but I was using I had like flipped it around on my phone and nobody could hear anything I was saying. So I have learned my lesson. So we're gonna make sure. Awesome, yay, you guys can hear me, yay, awesome. Welcome. Before I start showing you around, we're just gonna let people come in because I know that sometimes technology is challenging and it's tough to find, you know, especially on Facebook. Not everything is like super easy, right? Yeah, so we're gonna make sure everybody can find us before I start moving around and everything. So the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna tell you a bit about the craft room and my ideas for it and how it came to be. And then I'm gonna pick the phone up and we're gonna walk around the room. I'm gonna show you everything. Ask me questions. I should be able to see it on the phone. I'll do anything, you know, open drawers, anything that you want. I might not be able to post links to things because I'm on my phone, but I'll come back afterwards and put in links to things. But, so here, I have a big favor. Anybody who's familiar with my tutorials, it has my website up. If somebody asks, how did you make this? Or where did you get the thing for this? If you could post the link to my tutorial right in the chat log so that they can see it, that would be so helpful. I will give you a big hug if you do that. That would be super helpful. All right, awesome. Okay, and then I have it up on my screen here, and then I have it on my phone. So when I move it, I'll see it on my phone. All right, so. And please, as you come in, say hi and let me know where you're from. I love to know where everybody is from. I am in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It is a beautiful, early autumn night. Seriously, it's amazing outside. It must be 65, and there's just the hint of you know, autumn in the air. It's amazing. We just took our dogs out for a walk, so that's how I know. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna give it till 8:05 before I start talking. If anybody has any questions while we're waiting, feel free to put them in here, and I can make sure that as I go around the room that I, you know, talk about something or whatever. That would be awesome. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Marilyn, Sharon, Cheryl, Maria. Awesome, Chris. I'm so happy you guys are here. Thank you. And also, I need to be honest, I feel nervous. I am really shy. I think I mentioned that in my email to you, so be easy on me. However, that doesn't mean you can't ask me questions. I'm totally cool with questions. Just, you know, I am really pretty shy, so I appreciate you being here and supporting me. Thank you very much. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Doe. Hi, Kathy. I love sunflowers too, Kathy. That's why I have them. Cool. Awesome. Yay. Okay, so a few more minutes before we get started. Hopefully everyone is finding. If anybody wants to also help me out, so what will happen is people will come to the group and be like, I can't find the video, because it doesn't always just pop up. You know, it's Facebook, right? So if you catch anybody who's lost in our group and can't find the video, please give them a link to this video, right? You just click on the little date where right now it says 3 minutes. If you click on that, it'll give you the link and you can just give it to them, or tell them to go click on videos. I think you'll see it there too. Hi, Betty. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Carmen. Hi, Ann. Awesome. So happy you guys are here. Cool. All right, so it's 8:05, so I would like to get started. All right, so my name is JenniferMaker Marks, and as I said, I live in Ann Arbor, and this is my craft room. And I'm so excited because I started working on this craft room a year ago. Now, that might seem funny because I'll bet a lot of you know that I have a 30-day craft room organization challenge, right? Well, I wasn't just organizing my craft room, I was actually starting from total scratch. Like, before this was this room, it was a family room, and it was painted in mustard and like a dark red, and it had a fireplace, and it had all this like massive amounts of stuff, because this was our dumping room, right? You know what that's like, right? The room in your house where you just dump all your stuff. So this was jam-packed, this room was. So we had to clear it all out, paint it, and do all of this stuff. And you know, I didn't take a year to do all of this. I just, you know, I think after 6 months I was pretty much good to go, but I kept fiddling with it. And honestly, will I ever really be done? No, right. Okay, so Amanda actually has a question about the Cricut Make It cover. So when we get over there, I'll be sure to talk about that when we get there. And also there's a lot of comments, so if I miss any, just feel free to repeat your comments so that, you know, I'm more likely to see it. All right, so the reason why I even have a craft room is because I started my blog, JenniferMaker.com, almost exactly 2 years ago now. And I think some of you know my story, which is that I started my blog because, well, basically I was totally broke and I had to figure out something to do to make money for my family, right? So I had heard that blogging might be an okay thing to do, and so I started doing this, and because I love crafting, okay, that I'm sure that goes without saying, I absolutely love to craft, and the blog was slow at first because that's how blogs work, but after a while it took off, and it's done amazing. I am like over the moon about my blog. But for the first year of my blog, I was working at this tiny little desk, like it was probably like this wide, and it was back behind me, and I had no space to put any of my stuff. I was putting stuff on the floor. It was so dark I couldn't see anything. It was crazy. I'm like, this is it. We need an actual craft room. We need to make this. And so we took everything out and we painted it. And we covered up the fireplace. Okay, so if you look behind me, you see where it says Maker? So under there where that was the fireplace, we actually totally just like sealed it in. No more fireplace, because I don't know, I don't need a fireplace in my craft room, do you? Right? It's just gonna like, no, we don't need a fireplace. And Michelle asked, what are the dimensions of the room? That's a good question. I actually looked it up today. It's 20 feet long, and I think it's 12 feet wide. Yep. And actually I have a whole blog post ready to go, and it has the whole entire layout on it. In fact, actually I have it in a drawer right over here. Let me just show you. So this is my proto, let me see if I can show this to you. Hopefully you can see that. This is my proto floor plan. I'm going to try to check and make sure this is showing up on the camera because there's a delay, so I can't actually see anything. Okay, so this is my proto floor plan, and we are, right now I'm sitting right here at my desk, and we're looking like back this way. And so I think it's about 12 or 13 inches feet this way, 20 feet this way. It's not a gigantic room, but it's not small either. You know, it's somewhere in the middle. It's supposed to be a family room. And so, you know, so I don't know, it's actually quite amazing. There's a sliding glass door here, the entrance is over here, and this is my whole room. And my desk, my computer desk, where I do all my blogging, is actually right here. I'm sitting at the back of my desk right now. Okay, cool. So I think that it's time for me to get up and show you stuff. What do you think, right? So I'm gonna do my best to keep an eye on the screen. So I'm actually gonna scroll right now. Can I see the comments? It looks like it doesn't even show me the comments. We can bring this up in a different window because I don't want to miss anybody's comments. Here we go. There's some comments here. I can see them. I'm gonna scroll through the comments right now just to make sure I'm not missing anything that you guys have questions about, because I want to make sure we talk about it. Awesome. Jenny, I'm so happy you like my challenge. Thank you. All right. And let's see. Got the dimensions of the room. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so I'm going to pick up my phone and we're going to just walk around the room and I'm going to show you all the little things, okay? So again, if I miss your question, I'll circle back around even after the video to put in a link, like to the tutorial, or just answer questions about dimensions or where I got something or whatever. So Even if you don't get a question right away, just remember, I will come back. I will come back. Okay, let's do this. All right, so awesome, and I can see your comments. So this is my room, okay? Let's do a little scan of my room so you can see. So, and we're gonna start over here at the entrance. All right, so this is the entrance here. This is actually the door to my garage, right? Okay, so this is, I'm gonna stand back a little bit so you can see it better. This is my, I don't have a great word for this. It's my hanging wall. So it is copper pipes that I attach to my wall. So you can see here, there's 3 of them. And I use them currently for storing paper. So I put my paper into these awesome hanging bags, and I have everything labeled. So you can see up here, right? So I can see what everything is. And what I love about this is that I can see at a glance what paper I have. Obviously, this is not all my paper, guys. I do have totally a lot more, but this is the paper that I want to see. And then over here, I have this really cool thing that I got off Etsy, and it's called the Roll Keeper. And you can buy it just like this, and it's really cool, long, and it stores 12 by 12 paper. I'll put the link to that in after the video as well. So, but you can use this for storing any kind of project. So I've chosen paper because I do a lot of paper projects, but a lot of like one idea I had for these was to put like your projects that you're working on in these hanging folders, and then just label them, and then you have all of your projects ready to go whenever you're working on them, right? Also, guys, make sure, let me know that you can hear me okay right now, because I've moved, right, and my voice might be in a different spot. So just give me like a sound check. All right, so this is my wall where and this, by the way, this is where I store my tubes of paper. And it's all it is. It's just a big PVC pipe, and it's just sitting on the floor. So awesome, thank you, Candy. And so if you had a lot of rolls like this, you could get a bunch of these and just stand them there. They're super cheap. So there's my thread organizer. This is my power shelf, I call it. So this is a like it's like a power strip box. I got it from IKEA. So if you look inside, you'll see that there's power strips in there. I have actually labeled a couple. Can you see? I don't think so. I'm trying to get my phone in there. There's a label over there. Anyways, so I've labeled them, and this is my camera charger. So everything is always there. That is my cell phone. There's like a little USB, and that's my stereo. So everything is there, and this is, I think, a big deal because you need a place to charge your phone, your electronics, listen to your music, whatever. So, and all this is this is just a crate. I think I got it at like Home Goods or something, and I just mounted it on my wall. And what's cool is that because it's a crate, and it's got these little things that I can put the cords in, right? So I love this thing. And then down here, I have my, this is an IKEA Raskog cart, right? And I painted it. I painted it copper, and I painted it like, you know, robin blue, robin's egg blue, whatever we call that color, right? And I store my glue guns, and this is one of my, this little paper towel tube organizer is something I made a long time ago for my blog. It's like a 5-minute craft, and I love it, and I still use it all the time. So, and I painted this, and there's a tutorial for how you can paint it and decorate it too. So this is actually foil. See, I think that's cool. Okay, now this is my high desk. Let me move back a little bit so you can see the whole thing. So this is my high desk, and right now I have my sewing machine on it, but most of the time I'm not using it for sewing. I am using it for something else. So I am going to put the phone down so that I can show you. Hopefully it'll work. So forgive me. All right, so oops, it needs to be a little bit higher up so you can see better. All right, I think we can see there now. Okay. So this is actually, besides it's a high desk, so I stand at it, right? There is a chair. I almost never use this chair. It's there, I guess, if I ever got tired, but I really don't use it. What I do use this for is it doubles as a light box, because as a blogger, I need to take photos with good light, right? So this actually opens up like this, and I have lights that I put on either side, and they shine in, and I have mats and stuff that I put. I'm sure that some of you might recognize some of these, right? So I put mats in here like this, and I shine the lights in, and then I'm able to take really good, well-lighted photos. So even if you're not a blogger, if you're a crafter that likes to take photos of yourself, a light box is amazing. And I made this from just, this was actually like an IKEA unit. I don't remember which one. I have it on my blog somewhere, that we cut the back off. So it's just the frame now. And then these glass windows or doors. And I love it. It's so nice because when I'm not using it as a light box, it looks presentable, right? It doesn't look like I'm in a workshop or whatever. And so these are Alex units from IKEA. You don't have to get Alex units. There are other ones that are like this. But there's 2 of them, and I actually have I've elevated my surface. I wanted it to match the one next to it, right, which is at a different height. But by doing that, it allowed me to put things like my rulers in, and I'll store all of my cutting mats. So I've got my cutting mats in here as well. Because these things are really big, right? And it's difficult to, I was finding it so hard to figure out where to store these things, and they were just all over the place, and I couldn't find what I wanted. And this works amazing. I love this. And then, of course, I have labeled all my drawers. Hopefully you can see that. Let me check and make sure that's in the picture. Kind of. I'm going to move it again. All right. Oh, there's a question here from Cindy. What's the piece on top of your Alex drawers that holds the mat? So this is a Limnon. This here is a Limnon desktop. Okay. And then all we did was we put some spacers in here. So right here. These are just like pieces from IKEA that we cut. And this is just a piece of plywood right here, right? So we just cut a piece of plywood to the right dimension, put these spacers on, and attached it with screws so it doesn't go anywhere. And I think it's just so awesome. I just love this thing. Thank you, Shauna. It is called the Besta. Yes, it is. So my drawers, this is the one I use the most when crafting, and it's got all of my like paper crafting tools that as I'm using. Hey, that's where those went. Ha ha ha. I couldn't find them earlier. Put those over here. I don't know how they got in there. I didn't put them in there. So I have labeled everything because I think it's really, really helpful to know where your stuff is. And not even just you, but when people come over, and in my case, that's usually my family, they know where to find things too, right? And this just is it's so much easier to be able to say, oh, it's in, the office drawer, which is where I keep like office equipment. The map drawer, for those of you who've done my 30-day challenge, is where I keep the map to where everything is in my room. And, the other things, the props are for like my light box, and then my light box itself, like pictures and stuff. And cords, my hot glue, books, and photos. So my photos, like where I keep all of my lenses and everything for my cameras. Christine says, where did you get all of your backdrops for your pictures? So let me ask a good question. Okay, so some of them I have simply bought. Let me pull some of these out so you can see. Some of these they're just, like when you go to the office supply store and they have poster boards. This is like a gold one, right? That's mostly all it is, honestly. I have a couple of, like, this is burlap here. I did make a couple myself. I mean, it's kind of cool how I made them. Let me see if I can find one. This one here. So this is, let me put the phone down for a second and get this out to show you. Okay. So this one here, you can see it looks kind of beat up. It's 2 years old. But this one looks like, weathered wood. And all it is a piece of foam core and that I have painted to look like a piece of board. So this is one of my favorite tricks. It's kind of old. You can see there's like, I don't know, paint or something on it, right? But so it's just foam core. That's mostly, these are just poster boards and foam core and stuff like that. And I did keep my bigger mats for my Cricut in here as well because it's useful to have them all in one spot. All right, and then there's a question here. What's the difference between a bright pad and a light box? So, okay, so a light box, when I talk about a light box, it is a box for shining light onto objects. So it is to illuminate like three-dimensional objects so you can take photos of them better, right? That's what I mean when I say light box. A bright pad, and I don't think it's in here. I think my daughter is using it. Yeah, it's not in here right now. She's got it because it was really a gift for her. A bright pad is like the LED light flat thing that you put like things on to trace or to weed. So they're different things. Some people call the bright pad other bright pads that aren't actually Cricut bright pads. They call them light boxes. But in this case, by light box, I mean a place where there's lots of light and I take photos in it. Just that now. All right. So, and I get this question a lot. These legs, they're on my furniture here. So these legs, I've elevated everything in this room, around the corner at least. So they're over here as well. And these legs are from IKEA, but you can get them at other places, and they're screwed in so that, first of all, I thought they looked cool, but also it elevates the sides. And I wanted everything that goes around here to be the same height all around the perimeter of the room. So it raised everything to the height that I needed it to be. So I love these legs. I have a tutorial on my blog about how to do them. All right. Okay, so up above here is my shelf. And we did a whole video on installing the shelf. You might have seen that. And I have one on the other side of the room as well, right up here. And these shelves are great for storing stuff. I don't have a lot up there yet because I don't need to put up a lot up there yet, but also they're great for light. So let me show you. They're like, they're LED lights, and there's I have a little switch right here, and I can just turn them on and off. But you can see how much light that gives. I've had a lot of people ask that question, and it really makes a huge difference in the room. The light does. I love the light. Anytime I'm crafting, I turn on these lights, right? And they're really not difficult to make. They look fancy, but they're actually not that fancy. And if you watched the video, then you would know that they're actually pretty simple. And then this here is I call it my embellishment wall. And I think I did a video on this as well. This might have been the video where people couldn't hear me talking. But so this is the paint flower. I know that you've seen this because Tracy Gooch, who is so awesome, she posts her version of this often. So this is it's made with PVC pipe and a what's it called? It's like a steel collar that's usually used for like ducks. This is like metal. And I store all my paint on here, and I love it because I get to see everything, and the paint is always ready to use because it's on its side. And it's just, I don't know, it's so cheerful. I just love this thing. And then these units here, I got off Amazon. I have a link to those somewhere. I think it's with, I think I have a blog, but I'll come back through and put the link to those in as well. I really like them. All the jars in here, I painted the tops copper because you might have noticed I really like copper. And I think the light shining on it, it's so, I don't know, it's really pretty. I really like it. And there's a question, is the light shelf from IKEA? This shelf is from IKEA. It's a lac shelf. The lights I got off Amazon, but IKEA does sell lights, so you could probably use theirs. And let me see, I think I missed another question. What is the length of that counter? There's 3 of them here, and I believe each one of these is 40 inches. So that would be 120 inches. So there's 1, 2, 3 on this side. And this one on this side, I believe, is like 78 inches long. So, yeah, I love your flower too, Tracy. Your flower is awesome. And I was so happy to see that someone else in the group made a flower, and she painted the inside a different color. So I think you have a pink one, a pink center, and I have a yellow center, and I think she has like purple or something. I don't know. It's really cool. More people should make those. Do I have a window in this room? I totally have a window in this room. It is over here. So right now it's closed because it goes to my deck. I don't think that we can even see out there, but this is actually kind of see. That's my deck out there, which is awesome. So that means I open up this, and I have lots of light And there's a dog door. So I have a big sliding glass window. I have the shades closed though because I was taking photos in here because I was working on the blog post. The counter height. That's a good question. Let's see. Let's measure it right now. All right, so this is 36. So it looks like it's an extra looks like 39 inches tall. And I'm not a very tall person. I'm 5'4", but I find that this height is perfect. I really, really like the height of these counters. It's just so useful for just working at, right? And it's not just a repository for stuff. It's actually a place that you can do things at, and I do often. All right. These things here are just like, they're on Lazy Susan, and I put my miscellaneous things in there. Here's my cute little puppies that I made. Those are on the blog. And so this wall here is like kind of like craft supply sort of things. Here's all my washi tape. I put that right down here. And this shelf is sewing stuff mostly. So I have buttons and some sewing supplies in there, and my clothespins, and then I have a whole roll of twine that I got from Amazon. So I love that twine because it's so colorful. So that is my embellishment wall. All right. Do I have a shipping packaging section? Maybe who asked me that question? Beatrice. I do not, because I don't sell any of my crafts, guys. I make all of my crafts for my blog, and then usually I give them to my family and friends. All of the money that I make comes from blogging. I sell nothing. And I can't even like express to you the joy of not having to sell my stuff, because I've been selling stuff, totally different thing, not crafting thing, for a very long time. And it is really tedious. I'm just going to say that right now. So to be able to just blog and share my things with you through a blog is amazing. And if you want to know more about blogging, I will put the link to how I managed to do that. I'm going to check also for any other questions, because this little box here is really tiny. Where did I get that? I think I've got most of them. Is that a cake basket? Bobby asks. It's not a cake basket. It's just a little basket, but it kind of looks like a cake. I thought it was really cute. Whatever, it's fun to have like cute little things. Like, I mean, I have stuff in here that is not important for crafting, right? Just things that are cheerful, right? I love that. I really do. I like that. I used to be more practical than I am now. But I really like that I have a room where I can express myself. All right, so let me scroll back down here. Okay, what's in the boxes, Vicky asks. So, first of all, note that I've labeled everything. So we've got jars, paint. So this is like paint. This is not this kind of paint, nor is it this kind of paint, which I'll talk about in a minute. It is like the paint for the room, because I wanted to make sure it stayed in here. So this is my room paint, the paint for my other craft thing, which I'll be showing you later, and that kind of thing. So it's all in there so that I always have it, because there's always something I need to touch up. Bags and shirts down here, my jewelry stuff, my seasonal stuff, which I need to get out soon, my lighting, which means my extra power strips and all my candles, my LED candles and stuff, extra markers, my wreath supplies, things for doing workshops, so like virtual online workshops, tools, which is mostly Greg's box. He leaves all of his stuff in the room and I put it in this box. That's what I do with it. Various like paper craft projects I don't want to have out right now, and then my beeswax, because I like to mold beeswax. Okay, Kimberly wants to know how to start a blog. Awesome. Christine too. So I will put the link. I love talking about blogging. I'll put the link on how I think craft blogging can be amazing when I am done with the video, so that you guys can find it. Okay, so that's this wall. So now this here, so this is like me standing kind of near the entrance, right? So this used to be brick, and it had a fireplace. So where you see Maker, there was a fireplace. It was all brick. So I got Greg to come in and build me these cabinets and cover up the brick all throughout here. And we made sure to make the cabinets the same height. And it wasn't a super difficult project. I can kind of show you. My cabinets are full of stuff right now. But you can see that, see, here's the brick. Isn't that lovely? Not. So he covered them up so I can use them as storage, which I love. Because there's, I don't know, I love to organize things, but there's always some stuff that I don't have a place for, especially the big stuff, and it's perfect for that stuff, right? So, yeah, this is my fireplace wall, which is now a, you know, those shelves were there. We just kind of repainted them again and put in the cabinets, and I thought it was a great way. And I will show you the picture of what this room looked like. It looked nothing like this. So in this room too, I should point, there's like these guys, these are actually mostly empty because I'm really short and I can't reach up there. But I can see these from my desk and they're pretty and they're cheerful. So I put them up there, and one day I might have something to put in there. And then down here I have various things stored. These are my projects on my blog that if you want to learn how to make them, they're all on there. Everything on this shelf is also on my blog. I put free files on there. So if you're a paper crafter and would like to become one, that's a great place to start. So over here, I am storing my felt and my fleece. And this is a recent thing, and I did a blog post about this because my daughter loves to make things on the Cricut Maker with felt and fleece, and it was just getting out of control. And it was just piles of it, right? We didn't really know how to store it. So we came up with this idea of rolling it. And when you roll it like this, you can see exactly what colors you have, and you can see exactly how much you have. Isn't that awesome? And the same thing for the felt. So we did the felt over here, and it's the same thing. We can see all the colors because of the way that they're rolled, and we can see how much we have. So, and this is a super simple idea, but really it makes a difference. Okay, so my table. Let's come back here. So this is my big craft table. I love this thing. All this is, guys, is IKEA units that we put together. Okay, so now there's been some discussion in the group about IKEA. Some people love it, some people don't like it, other people don't even have access to it. You don't have to use IKEA. You can use whatever you have at your home improvement store, at Walmart, at Target. Lots of places have these white cube systems, right? And barring that, you can just go buy some plywood and paint it white. Seriously, it isn't really that hard. If I can do it, you can do it. So I have a whole tutorial on how to put this table together. And I believe Tracy Gooch did a table like this already. So we know it works. Yay. So at the end here, I've got a place for people to sit. And this is where I sit usually at this spot. And it's just one like 2x8 calyx unit here. And then at the end here, we have 2 Alex units that we put extra, we built up some spacers for because they're not the same height. So you can see one there and one here. And then this here, I have a cover on it because we're messy, is 2 Linman desktops put together. Now, if you do this project, you'll note that there is a gap between where your calyx unit is and your Alex unit. So we bought a $2 unit. This was $2 at IKEA. We put a handle on it, and inside, it's just a magnet right there, and it's a trash can. Is that like the most awesome thing ever, guys? And there's one on the other side too. And there's storage underneath, because you know, there's like a big empty spot in the middle. So I put my like adhesive spray box under there, and everything like that. So, and sorry to hear that, Jenny. So I've had IKEA stuff since I actually went to IKEA first. It's like 1995 because we didn't have one here. I actually drove like 6 hours to get there to buy stuff for my living room when I was living in my apartment. I still have it and I still use it. So I have had amazing success with IKEA stuff. So then there's another trash can right over here. So I really, really like this table. It's 5 feet by 5 feet. It is huge. And it's like we can do every project on it. Like seriously, every project. All right. Don't forget, you guys can ask me questions. Okay, so this over here is the other side of the room, and this is my giant pegboard, and below that are more Alex units. These ones are wider. So just like before, I put legs on the Alex units right at the bottom. I've labeled some of my drawers, but not all, because some of these are still empty. I haven't filled them all yet, which is amazing. And I built up, actually this is like two Linmon tabletops right here on top of each other. And there's a spacer to keep them all like, you know, up. And inside here, I bought these really cool, they're like usually for like tools and stuff, but I found them on Amazon and they're like the perfect depth. And they fit right in there, so I can store lots of like little crafty things right in there. So over here I have my crepe paper. I got all in here. My markers, and they're really deep, so I really like this. Michelle asks, where do I do my sewing? I don't do my sewing in this room. Well, I do have a sewing machine over here, and I could do sewing here. I usually do it in my basement because I have, that's where I started. My studio was in my basement. So I'll include a photo of that later so you can see, but it's not anywhere near so cool. It's basically a big table and a sewing machine. So, okay, right. So my drawers, I've organized them, I think, okay. They get disorganized really easily, but by having them labeled, it makes a big difference. Let's see, and there's a question I missed. What size is your room? I believe that it is 13 feet wide by 20 feet long. So this is the length here. It's not a small room. It's not a giant room. It's actually a really good size. And I like this size because it's hard to mess up. I can mess it up, but it's not big enough to like just go crazy. And Linda says, this is a 30-day room organization class type of group. Did your room really take only 30 days? So I talked about this at the start. You probably weren't here. So organizing it, yes. Putting this together to make it look like this, especially since I made and designed a lot of these projects myself, no. I actually started doing this a year ago. I had my room organized and functional within 30 days, yes. But like this, no. I did these projects as we went. I got the room organized, and then I'm like, hey, look at all of this space I have. I have so much more room for projects. So I did them. So, okay. And Philine, I apologize if I'm Philan maybe, says, this is huge compared to my room. Is this your formal living room? It's our family room, right? So there used to be a fireplace right there. So it's, I guess you could say it's kind of like a formal living room. It's the extra room in your house that you really don't need. All it was doing before was holding all of our junk. Okay. And Thelma says, is there a blog that tells how to lay out the paint flower? There totally is. It is on my blog at JenniferMaker.com. When this tour is over, I will come back through and link it. And if anybody out there who's listening is on my blog and wants to link it for her, that would be super awesome. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm glad I was close. All right, so we talked about the Alex units, and this is my Cricut Make It cover, and there was a question about this earlier. So this is a tutorial on my blog, the whole thing, like how to, the patterns and how to make it and everything. And what I really like about this, for anyone who has a, this actually works for a maker or for an explorer. It doesn't have to be for a maker. Anyways, let me put this down. Let me put the camera down so that you can see. Okay. So what I love about this is that, you know, it's like a dust cover, but you can also just kind of like set it down like this, and you just pick up your Cricut and you just put its feet down on it, and it becomes like a tool holder, right? Isn't that awesome? Can you guys see that okay? Yeah, okay. Right? Isn't that cool? I love this thing. I think it turned out really awesome. We've had lots of people make it, so I think that's a winner. So that's on my blog as well. And thank you, Beatrice. Sharon says, am I a quilter? I am not a quilter. I like to sew clothing and like mostly clothing, but I'm not a quilter. No, I have not tried that yet. Okay, so my giant pegboard is here. There's the other light shelf up there. So I made this pegboard myself, painted it to complement my room, and I have a tutorial on how to make the pegboard if you would like. And these little buckets to hold all my brushes and pens are just things I got off Amazon. I have a link for those if you want them. This ribbon organizer here is also a blog project, and it's just a way to organize ribbons so that you can see it. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate you linking that so much. Awesome. And you know, I mean, it's my tools and stuff. I use this stuff all the time. You can see there's stuff missing because someone took it and didn't put it back. It happens all the time to me. I mean, the thing about having an awesome craft room is that people use it, right? So, yeah, and I like copper, and I've painted a lot of things copper. So it was fun. So that is my pegboard. Yeah. Okay. So this here is my paper storage tower, and it's one of my most popular tutorial posts on my blog. Oh wait, there's a question. On the pegboard, is there a frame on the back to keep it away from the wall? There totally is. I don't know, because there's a gap. It's not flat against the wall. Can you see that? So yep, there's a board on the back so that you can put the pegs in, and they don't, like, you have to have space behind your pegboard for it to work. And there's absolutely space behind it. And it's all in the tutorial if you would like to learn how I made that. Vicky says, where do you keep the machines? You have more than one. I do. There's one. The other one is hiding. It's by my desk. It's kind of a mess over there. I'm not going to show you. And the third one is loaned out to a friend right now, so she has it. So mostly I use the one at my desk. I mean, I guess I could show you, but I don't want to like show you the other thing either. So there, you see. And so that was an Explorer, and this is a Maker. My desk is kind of always messy because I pretty much live there. All right, and okay, so my paper tower. Yeah, so one of my most popular tutorials, and all this is an IKEA Calyx unit that I put wheels on so that I can move it around the room to use it where I want to, because sometimes I put it by my desk. And on top I have, this is a Lazy Susan, so it spins, and these are IKEA bag holders that fit the vinyl, or the things that you want. And then the tower itself, all we did was we actually hot glued these spacers in and then put in these shelves. So it's actually not a super difficult project. The hardest part probably is just cutting the spacers and the wood. And but I love it. I love this thing. It's great. And then I recently put this on the side. It's mountain light. So, okay, so I have to tell you guys, I am like a huge fan of shoe holders. I use them everywhere, like camping, and obviously in my bathroom, and when we travel, right? Like it's just amazing because it's basically a wall of pockets. And who doesn't need something like that so that you can see all your stuff? So I put this on the side, and it's like screwed in so that it's not going to fall, and it's got all of my spray paint in it. Isn't that awesome? I just love those things. Thank you, Tracy, for linking that. I appreciate it. So that is my paper holder. All right, so now I think that I have covered most everything in the room except for my latest project. But before I go over there, if anyone's got questions, let me know, because I'm going to put the camera down when I talk about my other project, and I won't be able to see the questions until I check the computer again. So let me know if you have any questions about anything. And thank you, Tracy. You're awesome. I love you. Okay, I can show you one more thing since a couple of you asked about blogging. So I have this unusual feature on my ceiling. So these are closet rods that I have installed up there. And the reason that they're up there, you can see there's one that goes all the way to right above my standing desk area. And the other one is right here above my table. And what I use for is attaching a camera so that I can like sit here and do tutorial, right? Or I can put my camera up here and have it point straight down at my desk so I can see what I'm doing. So that's probably not something many of you will want, but I thought it was a pretty awesome solution to the whole weird camera thing, you know, because you have to have the camera basically everywhere all the time when you're doing like videos and stuff. Okay. All right. So you guys ready to see my latest project? Because I'm going to show you. Oh, wait, there's a question. Beatrice says, what kind of camera do you use? I actually have it right here. I'll show you. I don't even have a fancy camera. Oh, I actually have it out. Where did I put my camera? Oh, it's over here. I was taking pictures. That's right. So I have, you see this? I have a Panasonic Lumix DZ1000. It is actually a point and shoot, but it's got an amazing zoom. Let me show you this. I love this. Is my camera on? All right. Let me see. There we go. Look at the zoom on this. This camera is amazing. I love this camera. I have had it for 3 years now, and it is so useful, and I'm probably going to get another one. So it's not even a fancy, I can't remember the name of a fancy camera. It's actually just a high functioning point and shoot. It's amazing. It really is. And yes, wall color. That's right. Thank you for telling me what my wall color was. Yes. I didn't actually use Benjamin Moore paint. It's just, that's the paint color that I found. It's actually, you know, whatever paint. The paint store just mixed it into Benjamin Moore 653 Seagrove. Yes. All right. So let me show you my latest project. Okay. All right. So we're going to set the camera up. And again, this is my desk. So give me a minute here to do this so that it works. And you can kind of see my, you can see my monitor there, sorry. I can see if I can get that back any further. But this project, okay, so I worked on this project. I started in May, guys. In May, it's pretty bad, I know. But, let me move this a little bit here. Back a little, okay. So I started this project in May. And some of you might recognize it. Let me move my chair and this light so we can see what we're doing here. There, okay. So some of you might recognize this, right? I did a whole video on this. Do you recognize this? So these are my paper storage shutters, right? So these are actually holding paper, which I'll explain to you in a minute. Okay, so, but I finally finished it. It was a busy summer. And this was my plan all along, okay? So I wanted to make a command center being like, you know, a whiteboard and a place for you to put your stuff and put notes and keep things together and all the papers and everything. So this is what I made. So it swings open like this. And I think it's so cool. So I can store my 12 by 12 paper in here, or I can, let me move my chair back a little bit. You can just put like, you know, envelopes and notes or whatever. You can just put it right here because the slats of the shutter are perfect for just putting papers in, right? So you could store your 12 by 12 paper or whatever size paper, or you can just put all of your papers, right? All of your mail and stuff. And then this is a whiteboard, obviously. So I can put all of my notes on here and my to-do lists and my post-it notes and everything. And then down here is a little shelf. I put all of my my dry erase markers. I put them onto flowers that I wouldn't lose them or people wouldn't borrow them and not bring them back. And there's storage here and there's hooks here for like my purse and my coat when I come in because my desk is right here, right? And it's so cool because I can see all my awesome paper, and if I have stuff that's sensitive on there or whatever, when people come over, I can just close it up, right? I think it's so cool. I love this. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I do not have the tutorial up for it yet, but it's almost done. So it'll be up soon. And it wasn't really difficult, you know? I mean, this is just wood. And the whiteboard I got from Menards, you just buy the whiteboard and you just put it on with liquid nails, right? And these things here that are supposed to look like the window panes, is just washi tape, which is cool because if I decide I don't want my whiteboard to be divided into 12 sections, I can just take it off and do whatever I want with it, right? And whatever. I think it's awesome. I am super happy with this. It's too bad it took me so long to make it, but whatever. All right, so I think we did it. I think I did it, guys. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera back around facing the craft room, and I'm going to check the screen for any questions I missed. So if you have any questions at all, this is a great time to ask. Okay. I don't know if you can see me. You might have to adjust this a bit. All right. All right, cool. So I'm looking at the questions. Thank you all for the nice comments, guys. I really super appreciate it. All right, so nope, you can't see me. There's a delay, so I can't even see. Hopefully that's close. All right, let's see. Let me look for new comments. They're not dated. I can't even tell what's new or not. So I'm just going to go through and see. I saw a question about my computer. What kind of computer do you use for your blog? I actually use Macs. I've been using Macs since 1987. So I'm a big Mac girl. Let's see. Angie says, I'm totally going to use the shutter paper storage idea. I know you mentioned in the tutorial that you used a certain shutter. Would this work with shutter doors as well? So funny you say that, Angie. So we couldn't find just old shutters. Like you can go buy wooden shutters. They're like $100 a piece. I am not paying that much for something that I'm turning into this kind of project. So we went to our local reuse center, and they didn't have shutters, but they did have a closet door, like shuttered, louvered doors. So these shutters are actually doors that we just chopped the bottom off. So you could totally do that with these. Let's see, what else am I missing? It's hard to track these comments. You guys have lots of comments here. Thank you for all the comments. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your support. What do you have on top of your center table? A mat. Yeah, so all it is a piece of vinyl that I got at Joann's, and it's just like 5 foot long piece of vinyl, and it's not quite 5 feet wide. It's like a couple inches short, but yeah, and I put it on to protect it because we're all kind of messy. I'm just gonna put that out there. Pearl asked what color are your walls, and I know that was answered, but just so that you know, it's Benjamin Moore Seagrove, and I love the color of my walls. It's just so cheerful and relaxing in here. Let's see. What was the camera again? It's a Panasonic Lumix DX1000. I will link it afterwards too. I love my camera because not only does it have an amazing zoom, and the reason why that's important, because obviously I'm in a craft room, what do I have to zoom? You can get really, really nice photos when you have a zoom, because you get what's called the bokeh effect behind it, where it's kind of fuzzy. So if you step back from your subject, right, like 10 feet, and then zoom in, you get nice, clear, crisp. Your subject is nice and clear and crisp, and the background kind of fades away. So it's actually really useful. But that camera also does 4K video. So my videos actually turn out really nice, and it has a portrait feature, so it makes me look better than I look, which I'm super happy about. Let's see, what other questions am I missing? What's on the outside of the shutters? Okay, so me just bring it around so you can look at this again. So the shutters, now I have a tutorial. I actually have a video where I made, wait, that's wrong. You're looking at my face. Here we go. So I have a video where I made the tutorial, the shutters. So this is material, and you just actually, you staple it in. So if you look up here, you'll see there's staples, just like a staple gun, and that's all. So you just basically take a long strip of fabric and you staple each like section to the top, and that forms the pockets for your paper. And you can choose whatever, like, because you're making it, you get to choose what size you want your pockets to be. So if this interests you, you should totally watch the tutorial on how I put that together. And let me scroll here on my phone, because the phone is doing a better job of showing me recent comments. And yes, you're right that you can have anything color matched. So you don't need Benjamin Moore paint. In fact, I don't think I've ever used Benjamin Moore paint, guys, because it's expensive. I just use whatever paint is affordable at the home improvement store, but they have charts in their computer and they can match any color. And while it's possible that overseas, internationally, they might not have access to the same information, you can go online and you can get the actual pigment colors of any paint color anywhere, and then you can just say, these are the pigment colors that I want in my paint. So you can just do that. Okay, I'm going to scroll here. What would you use to store dyes in? I have no dye, Sandy, because I have a Cricut that I make all of my patterns for. So I've never had a dye. Well, that's not true. I have one dye. I think this is a dye. I have this one right here. I'll show you. I have this one, but it's for my cuddle bug. So I know that some people who have dyes, what they do is they take cookie sheets and they put a magnet sheet on it. So they glue a magnet sheet on it, and then they put all of their metallic dyes on it, and then I'll just stay there, and then they stack up other cookie sheets. So that's one thing that people do. Let's see, where am I located? Maria says, where am I located? I live in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Let's see, will there be a way to watch this video again, says Denise. Totally. So the video will be available for replay for like ever, as long as the group is here and Facebook is here. So you can watch this whenever you want. Pearl says, what is your YouTube channel? It's at youtube.com/c/JenniferMaker. If you just search JenniferMaker YouTube, or actually if you go to my blog, I have like a little button for YouTube on there. All right, let's see here. I love Ann Arbor too, Val. Thank you. Okay, so the embellishment shelves came from Amazon. There's like a video that I did on the embellishment shelves. It's in the video section of our Facebook group, but I will come back later and I will link them. They are really awesome. I'm really happy with them. They look really classy, and they were all assembled. They came assembled in the box. That was nice. Let's see. Hello, Carmen. Hello, Thelma. I need a tutorial for tissue paper storage. I use it for shipping and full sheets. So I have tissue paper, but I keep it back there in one of those long, the long drawers I pulled out, and I probably don't have as much as you. I do, however, down in my sewing room, I have a really big roll of craft paper that I use for patterns, because I like to make my own patterns, and it's on like a metal roll, and it's like right under my shelves, and I just pull it out. So if your tissue paper comes on rolls, or you can get it on rolls, you could put it onto a roll holder and mount it on the wall or something, and that would be really like useful for like saving space and stuff. All right, looking for more questions. I think the ones at the top might be more frequent. Somebody say something so I can tell like what is newer or not. It's also about, tell Alex to go to bed. My Echo says it's 9 o'clock and it's bedtime for my daughter. So Sharon says, do you have a large fabric stash and how do you store it? Well, I do, but it's downstairs. So tell Alex to go to bed. Sorry. So I store my fabric. So as you probably can tell by my room, I like to see my stuff, because if I don't see it, I can't find it and I don't use it. So I just did a blog post on this at JenniferMaker.com. So if you go there, it's actually the very first post you'll see. And it shows you how I personally store my fabric so that I can see it. I have hanging rods and I have my fabric draped over my rods, and I have it still on the bolt when it's big enough. And I actually use a filing system for my fabric as well. Let's see. Deborah, you're in Oxford, Michigan. That's awesome. You're definitely not far from me. Cool. Well, it looks like okay, so if I missed your question, post it now. Because it's really hard to see all of these. I'm looking through. Thank you again for linking, Tracy. You are the bestest. I really appreciate that. It looks like I've got most of the questions that I can see. What kind of stand is your phone on? Marie asked what kind of stand my phone is on. Do you mean the phone right now? Or do you mean that little phone over by my charger? Because I can show you that one. This one. See this? It's like a little couch. This was a gift that I got because for 20 years, I wrote a book called Passporter, and I was invited to the Disney Social Media Moms Celebration, which is a conference, and they gave it to me. See, you can kind of see that down there. So it was a gift. It's a little sofa for your phone. If that's not what you meant, then if you mean what am I holding my phone in right now, I am holding my phone in a, I'm trying to think what it's called. I'm not going to take it off and show you, because if I do that, I will never get it back in there. But it's got 3 legs, and it's like made by Joby. I can't remember. I'll link it for you, Marie, so that you have it, because it's really nice. And it allows you to put your phone almost anywhere. It's really awesome. All right. Let's see. It's not a selfie stick. No, I thought about getting a selfie stick, but I can't set the selfie stick down. Right? I thought it would be good to, like, walk around the room. Because I've done lots of videos where I'm just like sitting here talking at a camera, but the whole walking around the room thing is weird. That's why I was really nervous about doing the video tonight. So thank you for bearing with me while we did this. Laura says, how can I watch this from the beginning? So when this video ends, I will save it to the group, and you just go click on videos. It's over on the left side, and you'll see the video for this, and just watch it from the very beginning again. Angie says, the area behind your desk, is that the closet that you revamped a while back, or is that a different room? It's totally, I'll show you. It's not super clean back there, but this is, yes. So you can kind of, there's a big light there too. Come over this way. So yes, this used to be a closet. See? You can kind of see there's the frame of it. So, and I took everything out of it, and we built this bench here. You see down here? My dogs basically have claimed this as their own. So dog bed. This is a dog bed, and I have to show you this, guys. We never finished the side of the thing, and they go in there. So basically, they're just back here all the time with me, which is awesome, actually, because I'm working back here all the time. So it's nice to have. But yeah, this is a built-in bench. The top lifts up, which is cool. See how it lifts up right there? You can kind of see it's got stuff on it. But I intended to put blankets in there, but then the dogs happened. So, and then we put these shelves in, and I have a tutorial on this, of course, on my blog, if you are interested in how we made the bench and the little desk and the little shelves and everything like that. Yeah. So that's that. Okay. Let's see. Am I missing anything else? It is a little tripod. Yes, it totally is. Ryan says, I love your room. Did you have to make your paper holder behind you, or were you able to purchase like that? I made it. There's a tutorial for it on my blog at JenniferMaker.com. It is really not as hard as it looks. I wish that you could just make it, buy it like that, but it's kind of specialized. Most people don't need little shelves like that, but it's not as hard as you think. It's basically molding, like you use for like a house, the little strips that you get at the store, and hot glue and the shelves, which are just up. I forget what kind of board they are now, but they're not even like wood. They're like kind of a cardboardy thing. So, and I made this a year ago, over a year ago now, and it's awesome. It's perfect. I love it. Okay, just checking for any more questions, and I think I got most of them. But if I didn't, oh wait, one more question I see here from Christine. I see that you have opaque boxes in your cubbies. What do you think about clear ones? Clear ones are totally cool. I thought about, when I was working in my fabric stash, about how I wanted to organize it. I thought about getting kind of like laundry baskets so that I could see the color through them. I'm a big fan of being able to see your stuff. I think that when you put it away, you kind of just forget about it, and you also can't find it. So clear ones would be awesome. Like, if I just, honestly, I got blue ones because I was at IKEA and they had them. And I'm like, oh, I think this might match my walls. I didn't actually put a lot of thought into it. So I might one day totally redo the that section with something else. But for now, the boxes are doing what I need them to, which is hold my stuff in an organized way. All right. Okay, cool. I think we did it, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for bearing with me and my shyness and me learning to use a little iPod on my camera. Oh, I gotta show you my dog. Okay, before we go, you have to see this adorable dog. This is my new puppy. Isn't she cute? This is Chloe. She's a border collie, Australian Shepherd rescue puppy. Mwah! And she's super, super sweet. So she's one of the dogs that hangs out with me while I'm working. And she's one of the little paper puppies that I made that I showed you earlier. Okay. Thank you guys for being here with me. The replay will be available for you to watch whenever you want. I will come back through. If you have questions even after I'm not live, just put your questions in here and I will answer them. I don't care if it's 6 months or a year from now. On all my other videos, people ask questions all the time and I just come in and answer them. So don't worry about that. I love answering questions. I love sharing what I know. And if you're interested in learning more about blogging, I will put the links for that in as well. And there's actually a whole video that I did March, I think, that talks about blogging and how amazing it's been for me and all the things that I did to make it successful. So you might want to look in the video section for that as well. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate you being here. I hope you have a great night. And if you are anywhere in the path of the terrible weather that's going to hit, please be safe. It's very important. Please be safe. And always let us know how you're doing with your craft rooms. I love seeing your photos. I love seeing your projects. I like seeing your messes because you put that picture out there and I know that it helps me, like, to share that and to get feedback and to work on organizing your room. It really, it's like, never feel shy about doing that, really. It's an awesome thing. Okay, I think that's it. I hope you have a great night and I will talk to you later. Bye.